Hey, Professor Gillen, what are you looking at?
Hi Lizzie, do call me Julia.
Okay,
Um,
Julia, what are you looking at?
I'm looking at Edwardian postcards. That's postcards from the first decade of the 20th century from Britain. And I'll show you a few and tell you why they're like today's social media. Not quite like TikTok, but some other social media. So here's the first card, which was sent in North London. And astonishingly, it says, hope to be down to tea this afternoon, but do not wait until after 5 o'clock. And that shows just how fast they travelled in those days. So you could just buy a card, stick a cheap stamp on it and send it, and it would arrive within a few hours. This one is to a lady called Mrs. Dawson and seems a bit more ambiguous, although the message is quite short. So it's, I intend coming up in the morning, weather permitting. So that sounds like a promise. But then the person, unnamed person, adds, I suppose I shall not be staying for the weekend, as I have not heard from you again. So it feels like a slightly less happy card. Now, many people like to send cards that had attractive pictures on, and they had similar memes to the internet age, really. So here's actually a Christmas and New Year card. But as you can see, it's got cute cats on it, which was a very popular thing in the age. Another kind of card that was popular was sharing pictures of celebrities. So here we have Edwardian actresses. And indeed, these actresses often made a fortune out of their postcard contracts. And this is sent to Miss Ethel Matthews while she's away on holiday in the Isle of Man. And it's sent from Tom, who says, only wish I was over there. The old familiar scenes make me envy you. But it's one of those cases that shows that the Edwardians were sending postcards when they were away or when they were at home. They just kept on exchanging them whenever they were, like today's social media and not like today's post. Here's one that's kind of a bit of a pun, just a line from Leeds. And it's to Mrs. Palmer in Norwich, and it's from her friend, Sarah, who evidently used to live in Norwich and is now kind of exchanging her news once she's moved. So she sends Helen her new address and says this is a true picture of a Leeds washing day. Don't think I shall put mine across street, as I have a little backyard to myself. I have a very nice house, much larger and better than the one I left. And so they go on to tell stories about what they're up to in Norwich. So I think Sarah is trying to tell Helen that life's going well in Leeds. Actually, she ends up saying, I shall like Leeds. It is very nice, clean and healthy, which is not a usual depiction of Leeds in the era. So it's quite an interesting viewpoint. Then finally, just to show that people also like sending jokes. So this is sent to a Mr. Neil, who's living in a village in Wiltshire, by his friend, who just signs him off saying, poor old me, and just calls him my dear old stick in the mud. And it's just kind of basically sending the card to share a joke. So these are just some of the ways in which people in the early 20th century used postcards to communicate.